My child, before you continue with your day, I want you to slow down for just a moment and allow your heart to become still. Life moves quickly, and there are countless voices competing for your attention every single day, yet somehow you found yourself here at this exact moment. Perhaps you were searching for encouragement. Perhaps you were simply scrolling without thinking. Or perhaps you have been carrying questions that no one around you can answer. Whatever brought you here, know this. Today is an opportunity to pause, reflect, and remember that hope can appear when you least expect it. Sometimes the most meaningful moments begin quietly, without noise or celebration, and only later do we realize how important they truly were. God is saying that you have spent too much time believing that nothing was changing simply because you could not see immediate results. You looked at your circumstances and wondered if your prayers had been forgotten. You looked at closed doors and assumed that every opportunity had passed you by. You carried responsibilities that others never noticed, smiled when your heart felt heavy, and kept moving forward even on the days when you felt exhausted. Through every moment, every silent struggle, every unanswered question, God was watching your journey with love and patience. Nothing you experienced was meaningless. Every challenge taught you something. Every delay developed wisdom. Every disappointment revealed strength that you did not know you possessed. Even when progress seemed invisible, growth was taking place deep within you. There are seasons when life feels unusually quiet, and those seasons often make people wonder if they are standing still. But consider a tree during the changing seasons. Long before new leaves appear, unseen work is already happening within its roots. It may look unchanged from the outside, yet life is quietly preparing for new growth. Your journey has been much the same. While you were waiting, learning, and wondering, your character was becoming stronger. Your patience was increasing. Your perspective was changing. God was preparing you for opportunities that required a wiser, stronger, and more confident version of you. If everything had arrived before you were ready, you might not have appreciated it or been prepared to carry it. Looking back, you may even realize that some delays protected you from choices that would not have led you toward the future you truly needed. My child, today I want you to stop measuring your life only by what has not happened yet. Instead, remember everything you have already overcome. Think about the difficult moments that once seemed impossible to survive. Think about the fears that no longer control you. Think about the lessons that have made you wiser than you were before. You are not standing where you started. You have grown in ways that are easy to overlook because growth often happens little by little. God sees every step you have taken, even the ones that felt small or insignificant. Every act of kindness, every moment of perseverance, every decision to keep believing when circumstances were uncertain has become part of the person you are becoming. Sometimes people wait for dramatic signs before they allow themselves to believe that a better season is possible. Yet many of life's greatest changes begin with something simple: a new perspective, a renewed hope, a conversation that inspires you, or the courage to take one small step forward. Never underestimate the power of small beginnings. A single decision can change the direction of your future. A single opportunity can open doors you never imagined. A single moment of faith can become the turning point that changes everything. God is reminding you that your future is not determined by your past disappointments. It is shaped by the choices you make today and the hope you are willing to carry into tomorrow. As you continue listening, hold this truth close to your heart: you were not created to remain trapped in discouragement. You were created to grow, to learn, to love, to encourage others, and to keep moving forward with faith. There are still blessings you have not experienced, people you have not met, opportunities you have not discovered, and moments of joy that are still waiting for you. Do not let temporary seasons convince you that your story has reached its conclusion. God is still writing new chapters, and the pages ahead may become more meaningful than anything you have left behind. So before you move on, take a deep breath and choose hope again. Choose to believe that your life still carries purpose. Choose to believe that every season has prepared you for something greater. Choose to believe that even when the road seems uncertain, God can guide each step with wisdom and peace. Today is not about fear, pressure, or urgency. It is about remembering that hope is still alive, your journey still matters, and your story is far from over. Keep your heart open, because what God is preparing in your life may begin in ways that seem small today but become unforgettable tomorrow. My child, if you have stayed with this message until now, I want you to know that your willingness to listen reveals something beautiful about your heart. Deep inside you, there is still a desire to believe that life can become brighter, that peace can return, and that purpose can be found even after seasons of uncertainty. Never lose that desire, because it is often the beginning of remarkable change. There have been moments when you questioned your direction, wondering if you had made the right choices or if your best opportunities had already passed. Those thoughts may have visited your mind many times, but they were never meant to become the foundation of your future. God is saying that your story is not measured by the chapters that challenged you but by the courage you showed while living through them. Every difficult season taught you something that comfort never could. Every disappointment strengthened your character. Every delay increased your patience. Every unexpected turn expanded your understanding of life in ways you never imagined. Looking back one day, you will realize that many of the moments you wanted to escape were quietly preparing you for opportunities that required wisdom, humility, and strength. Sometimes people believe that change only becomes real when they can immediately see it with their eyes, but God often begins His work in places that remain invisible for a while. Think about the sunrise. Long before the first light reaches the horizon, the darkness has already begun to lose its hold. The world may still appear unchanged, yet morning is already on its way. Your life has been moving through a similar process. Even when you felt forgotten, important lessons were taking root within you. Even when doors seemed closed, new paths were quietly being prepared. Even when you felt uncertain about tomorrow, God was strengthening your heart so you could walk into the future with greater confidence than ever before. Do not mistake quiet seasons for empty seasons. Some of the most meaningful growth happens when everything appears still. The roots of a mighty tree grow deep long before anyone admires its branches, and the strongest foundations are built before anyone notices the beauty that will eventually rise above them. My child, there is also something I want you to release today. Release the belief that your past mistakes have the power to define the rest of your life. Too many people carry guilt longer than they carry hope. They replay old memories, revisit old disappointments, and allow yesterday to steal the joy of today. But God is saying that your future deserves more attention than your regrets. Learn from the past, but do not live there. Let every lesson make you wiser instead of making you fearful. Let every challenge remind you how much you have grown instead of convincing you how much you have lost. You cannot fully embrace new opportunities while holding tightly to every painful memory. Healing begins when you allow yourself to believe that your life is still moving forward and that your best moments are not trapped behind you. They are waiting ahead, unfolding one step at a time as you continue walking with faith, patience, and gratitude. There will always be voices trying to convince you that you should settle for less than what is possible. Some voices come from the outside through criticism, doubt, or comparison. Other voices come from within, reminding you of every failure while ignoring every victory. God is asking you to listen to a different voice today, the quiet voice that reminds you that you have already survived moments you once thought would break you. You have overcome challenges that once seemed impossible. You have continued moving forward despite uncertainty, and that alone is proof that strength lives within you. Never underestimate what God can do through a heart that refuses to surrender hope. Every step you continue to take, no matter how small it seems, is carrying you closer to the person you were always meant to become. Progress does not always announce itself with dramatic changes. Often it appears through quiet confidence, renewed peace, wiser decisions, healthier relationships, and the ability to face tomorrow with greater faith than yesterday. As you continue into this new season, pay attention to the simple blessings that surround you each day. A kind conversation, an unexpected opportunity, a moment of peace, a fresh idea, a new sense of direction. These may seem ordinary at first, yet they often become the beginning of extraordinary stories. Do not overlook what God places in front of you simply because it arrives in a humble way. Great transformations rarely begin with perfection. They begin with willingness. A willingness to believe again. A willingness to forgive. A willingness to trust. A willingness to take one more step even when the entire path is not yet visible. God is saying that your willingness to keep moving forward will open doors that fear could never unlock. Before this part comes to an end, hold this promise close to your heart. You are not walking alone through this season of your life. Every lesson has a purpose. Every step has meaning. Every challenge has contributed to the strength you now carry within you. Keep believing that better days are possible. Keep choosing hope when doubt tries to return. Keep moving forward with quiet confidence, knowing that the same God who guided you through yesterday is already preparing what you need for tomorrow. The chapter ahead has not yet been fully revealed, but it carries new opportunities, deeper peace, unexpected joy, and moments that will remind you why it was so important to keep believing even when you could not yet see the entire picture. Stay faithful, stay hopeful, and keep your heart open, because your story is still unfolding, and some of its most beautiful pages have yet to be written. My child, before this message comes to an end, I want you to remember something that can change the way you see your life from this day forward. Many people spend years waiting for a perfect moment before they allow themselves to believe again. They tell themselves they will have hope after life becomes easier, they will have peace after every problem disappears, and they will have confidence after every question is answered. But God is saying that this is not how true transformation begins. Transformation begins when you decide to trust even while you are still growing. It begins when you choose hope while you are still waiting. It begins when you refuse to allow temporary circumstances to determine your permanent outlook. You have already survived days that once felt impossible. You have already overcome moments that seemed too heavy to carry. You are far stronger than you give yourself credit for, and the strength you carry today is preparing you for opportunities that could never have been entrusted to the version of you that existed years ago. Never underestimate how much you have grown, because growth often happens so gradually that you only recognize it when you stop and look back at the road you have already traveled. There may have been seasons when you felt invisible, when your kindness went unnoticed, when your hard work seemed unappreciated, or when your prayers felt like they disappeared into silence. Yet God wants you to know that nothing good you have done has ever been forgotten. Every act of patience, every moment of compassion, every decision to choose integrity even when no one was watching has become part of the foundation of your future. The world often celebrates quick success, but God values faithful hearts that continue moving forward even when recognition never comes. That is the kind of strength that lasts. That is the kind of character that opens doors at the right time. Sometimes the greatest reward is not immediate applause but becoming the kind of person who is ready to carry greater responsibility, deeper joy, and lasting peace. What you have been building within your heart is far more valuable than anything that could have been gained quickly without wisdom. My child, do not become discouraged if everything does not change overnight. Some of the most beautiful things in life grow steadily rather than suddenly. A tree does not become strong in a single day. A sunrise does not light the entire sky in one instant. A meaningful life is built through daily choices, quiet faith, consistent kindness, and the courage to continue when the road feels uncertain. God is saying that every step you take in faith matters, even the ones that seem small. Every time you choose gratitude instead of bitterness, you grow. Every time you choose forgiveness instead of resentment, you grow. Every time you choose hope instead of fear, you grow. These moments shape your future far more than you realize. Never believe that your progress is insignificant simply because it is happening one step at a time. Small steps taken consistently can carry you farther than giant leaps made only once. As you move forward, pay attention to the opportunities that begin appearing around you. Some may arrive through new friendships, others through unexpected conversations, fresh ideas, or moments of quiet inspiration. Do not dismiss these moments because they seem ordinary. Many of life's greatest blessings begin quietly before revealing their full purpose. Stay curious. Stay teachable. Stay thankful. Continue becoming the person who sees possibilities instead of limitations. There will always be reasons to doubt, but there will also always be reasons to believe. The choice you make each day will shape the direction of your journey. God is inviting you to live with expectation, not because every day will be easy, but because every day carries the possibility of growth, wisdom, peace, and unexpected joy. Before you leave this message, I want you to carry one final truth deep within your heart. You were meant to see this today not because your life is perfect, but because your story is still unfolding. There are still dreams waiting to awaken, prayers waiting to be answered in unexpected ways, friendships waiting to encourage you, opportunities waiting to discover you, and moments of peace waiting to remind you that God has been walking beside you through every chapter. Never allow a difficult season to convince you that your future has been decided. Every sunrise reminds us that darkness never has the final word, and every new day reminds us that fresh beginnings are always possible. Keep believing. Keep learning. Keep trusting. Keep moving forward with courage, because your best chapters are not behind you, they are still ahead, waiting for the right moment to unfold. Before you go, take a quiet moment to reflect on what touched your heart the most. If this message encouraged you today, write Amen in the comments as your declaration of faith. And if you are ready to embrace the new chapter God is preparing for your life, write I am ready. Your words may become a source of hope for someone else who reads them. If these messages continue to encourage your heart, subscribe and become part of this growing community where we choose faith, hope, and encouragement every single day. May God fill your heart with peace, strengthen your spirit, guide your steps with wisdom, and remind you each day that you are loved, valued, and never walking alone.